Today's episode is brought to you by...
Welcome
to a brand new...
Well, I needed a video this week, and Scud is going to be a mission to do, due to the fact that, well, have you seen the size of the thing? It's the size of a Bible. Bigger than the Watchmen, and it's bigger than Planetary's big, giant omnibus. So instead, we're going to do a short review. Yes, it's a graphic novel. It's Highlander Origins, the Kurgan. And what inspired me to do this one was I wanted to purchase the actual hard copy, but, well, if you looked on eBay, it's expensive. The Kurgan was a powerful immortal and was once a contender to win the prize. Throughout his life, he caused much destruction and chaos, killing, raping, and thieving. He took the heads of many immortals throughout his 3,000 years of life, until his death at the hands of Connor MacLeod in 1985. It starts out basically at the end of the original Highlander movie where MacLeod kills Kurgan, and you know, like when one immortal kills another immortal, they take all their essence, and MacLeod actually sees the whole backstory and origin and life of Kurgan. And Kurgan starts off as just a random kid, you know, from a nomadic tribe who suddenly dies in a flood, survives the flood, and gets adopted by these other random nomads. And his stepmom was nice to him, but his stepdad is a fucking asshole. They don't even call him by his name, Vitor. They call him Boy, and he wants to prove himself, so he gets thrown to a pack of wild dogs, and he beats the crap out of and kills the dogs, because, you know, that's what they do. That's how barbaric they are. And he's called Kurgan because that's the name of the tribe. And then, you know, his stepfather's all like, you better not survive, so he kills his stepdad. He was raised by his mom for a little bit. Then he ends up somewhere in Israel and joins some nomadic tribes, and then realizes that the nomadic tribe are greedy assholes. They turn on him, but he survives. He gets rescued by some Israeli prince, and who's also an immortal, and shows him the way. He's kind of like the Ramirez type of character for him. But unlike in Highlander, where MacLeod, you know, respects his master, his teacher, Kurgan sees how, you know, the whole concept of the whole situation right there, and he kills him the next morning. All those Israeli followers don't like him, so they kick him out. Then he travels, and he's find out he was part of the Persians during the Battle of 300, where Ramirez was one of the Spartans.
This is where we fight!
Travels to Rome, Champagne, Turkey, British Isles with the Vikings, and he was in part of the Mongols. And then, like, what happens also is that, like, while in the Mongols, he realizes that, you know, got bored of the mortal world, so he ends up meeting Ramirez for the second time and loses his sword.
You're too late. I've prepared him for you.
You waste your time!
So he goes to England and gets a sword maker to make him, like, his trademark sword, and being the piece of shit that he is, he rapes the sword maker's wife and kills everybody, and continues on his quest to do whatever he does. And then eventually he goes to Italy, and he meets a scarred up hooker, and he actually gets a girlfriend for a bit, you know. And then, but meanwhile, while all this shit's happening, he's getting visions of the future that he's gonna lose his head against MacLeod. So this is whole leading him to meet MacLeod for the first time, and that's the whole situation there. Then eventually, towards the, you know, after he confronts Ramirez for a second time in China, and, well, he loses again by a bunch of Ming warriors gang up on him, and Ramirez wins. Then he goes to Russia, fighting more fucking immortals. Then finally he meets up with MacLeod, and then that's when MacLeod realizes that the entire time Kurgan has been afraid of MacLeod. So yeah, all in all, the origin story is pretty cool. You know, Dynamite Press done a really good job with it, and all in all, I give it like probably a 7.5 out of 10.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Before I continue, let's bring on today's sponsor. No thanks to you. Yep, no thanks to you. We don't get any fucking hype, anything that really matters. And fuck YouTube. Yeah, I said it. I know it's ironic and pathetic, but, you know, what we're gonna do? Put it on BitChute, which is like the right-wing equivalent to YouTube? I mean, seriously. During Pride Month, they had Christian Month. That's pretty right-wing YouTube, if you think about it. But this is what my video is about. Nothing really, but you watch nothing anyway. There's nothing good on this fucking platform. I mean, what? People reacting to things? Hacks. What? The fandom men is bitching about the same old shit over and over again? The Lindsay bitches bitching about how the patriarchy's bad? I mean...
Shut the fuck up!
Remember when actors were just actors, not activists? Like, I'm sorry, Hollywood or LA in general has a homeless problem. But yet, these pretenders for a living who make millions of dollars talk about how they care about the poor.
Dumb bullshit.
There are tent metropolises under every overpass when you go to Hollywood. One time I was driving through Hollywood under the Highland Bridge, and I saw a flat screen TV in a tent city. Yeah, and then you build these brand new fucking like expensive places where no one can afford, but yet you have like a homeless problem. Just saying. At least with the fucking right-wing assholes, they are blunt about what they say.
Fuck the poor!
Liberals, or sorry, the Hollywood people claim, oh, we care about the poor. Then why do you have a homeless problem? You're about gentrification, so you can forget about the homeless problem. You just build a giant Whole Foods to cover, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm also here to talk about just the excuses you do. Like, seriously, like I was watching Doomcock, because he's sometimes fun to watch, and he brought up something that he said months ago, and now the mainstream media is talking about it, and that is that Phoebe Waller-Bridge, or Poob, as Jeff Hicks would call her, is ruining every male-fronted entertainment thing we like and replacing with female, like what they're doing with James Bond, what they did with Star Wars, with Han Solo, and of course, what they're doing to Indiana Jones.
What the fuck?
Why are you giving her work? It's kind of like, why doesn't Disney fire Kathleen Kennedy? It's not sexist, it's look at the fucking numbers.
I mean, come on!
You're raping it. You're not just ruining it, you're raping it. I know. I'm gonna be demonetized, but this channel's not monetized, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. That's why I think it's funny how I see these big channels going like, oh, I'm not worried about getting demonetized. This channel's never been fucking monetized. Okay, it was monetized when it started out before YouTube decided to fuck things up by giving you special extra fucking rules. You know, like what the younger generation's doing with everything.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I think it's funny how the idea of the younger generation and rebelling is to break rules, but all you're doing is just adding new ones. Fucking Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, and that's another thing too. How can you talk shit on like religion for doing what they do when you do the same thing? Like, you've heard me talk about it. There's a point about this, but I forgot what it was. I'd go into detail, but you know, I'm just basically just trolling all of you anyway. So, whatever. I'd say special thanks to people, but I gotta go on Sub Pals and YT Pals just to try to get 100 views on here because the algorithm can suck my balls. Fuck this website. Fuck Facebook. Fuck Twitter. Seriously, this is the only thing I got going for myself, and I'm barely scraping by because no thanks to you. Go fuck yourselves, all of you. Fuck this site. Coming soon to both Lost Anarchy magazine and Don't Watch Mojo channels. We got some badass graphic novel reviews. And of course, I'd like to make a shout out to our patron, Count Moribond. My homie from the Rainbow. I'm not gonna say what he does, but this guy is badass. Check out his channel. He does a lot of stuff on satanic poetry and other satanic Bible studies. And also a shout out to one of our other newer patrons, Janitor Jay. I've been a fan of his for years, and
Talk about nostalgia, huh?
of course, shout out to our usual patrons, Ryan Zacher and the Fly Attractor. Honestly, the best way to look at graphics, hate. If you have a bad teacher and everybody talks down to you like you're a fucking moron, all you want to do is just spite them that you're not an idiot.
The driving factor, yeah.
It's because everybody who's a graphic designer is an asshole.
Yeah, I quit school because of that. I had a creative writing teacher that says, you got a D in your class. You need to be at least C plus to go on to creative writing too. And I said, well, this is like my life. I write. I do poetry. I want to be, a songwriter. You're blocking me.
Check out our Patreon, linked in the description as you can tell, and support our cause. We don't get paid for this shit.